We're in Lesson 2, which really means Chapter 2 of our social studies books. Remember, if you want to view your book online, you need to go to Clever, then to TCI, and then click on Chapter 2, Exploring the Regions of the United States. Exploring the Regions of the United States. We're going to take a look at how do geographers study the region of the United States. And we've got different regions that we're going to start studying. After we take an overlook of all of them, then we'll break down each region. Here are some of your vocabulary words. Now, if you're on the online version, you can use the little flip cards to flip those over to see the definitions of each of those. We'll find those definitions as we work through this chapter. Here comes the introduction. Because Earth is so large, geographers divide it into regions to study. A region is an area with common features that sets it apart from other areas. The United States can be divided into regions too. One way to do this is by grouping the states with similar features into 5 different regions. In this lesson, you will learn how geographers study regions. Geographers have identified 5 major themes or topics to help them organize the study of geography. Maps are useful for understanding these 5 themes of geography. Number 1, location. Where is the place located? What is it near? Place. What is the place like? Human-environment interaction. How does this place affect the people living here? How does the people who live here affect this place? So, human effects on the earth is pretty substantial. Movement. How do people, goods, and ideas move to and away from one place? And then the last one, regions. What features about this place set it apart from other places? Try answering the question above about your school. Now you're thinking like a geographer. Keep thinking that way as you read more about the regions of the state. So if you're going to divide our school into sections, you might do it by grade, right? Originally, this school was organized with 8th grade way down at the end of the hall, all the way to 1st grade way down on this end of the hall. But then we found out that certain grades needed bigger or smaller classrooms, so then we mixed it up a little bit. Sometimes people might arrange this school into 3 regions. You have the kindergartners downstairs, you got the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th graders make up a group, and the 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th graders make up a 3rd group. So just like we arrange different things, our country can be arranged into regions. Today we want to tackle number 1 and number 2 as well. Location and direction. Every place has its own location. A location is the site where something can be found. People describe location in many ways. You might describe the location of your home by talking about what's near it. I'm just down the street from McDonald's. Or, I live just off of Hampton Avenue. I live between Capitol and Silver Spring. You might describe the location of your home by talking about what's near it. This is the relative location of your home. Or you might use the street address. This is the exact location of the home. I live at 5003 North 110th Street. Geographers use globes and maps to show the location of places on Earth. Globes are round like the Earth. They are useful when you want to know where places are on the planet. When you need to see where many places are all at once, maps can be more useful. Maps show all the parts of the Earth on a flat surface. So here you would have a globe, it's round. Okay? And a map, it would be more flat like the Hawaiian Islands over here. To use maps, you need to know the 4 cardinal directions. North is the direction towards the North Pole. When you face north, your back is facing south. East is to your right and west is to your left. On a map, the letters N, S, E, and W stand for the cardinal directions. Now you can see down at the bottom of the page, most maps have these. North, east, south, and west. So for example, if I'm looking at this map, I would know that north is this way. That way we can tell which map directions are. The intermediate directions is halfway between the cardinal directions. Northeast, for example, lies halfway between north and east. The other intermediate directions are southeast, southwest, and northwest. On a map, the letters N, E, S, E, S, W, and N, W stand for the intermediate directions. Most maps use a compass rose to show the directions. A compass rose sits on a map with N pointing towards the North Pole. This tells you which way the map is north. Why is it important to know your directions? Obviously, if you don't know your directions, you'll have a difficult time getting to one place or another. And you may even have a difficult time knowing where one place is. So here's a compass rose. It has all the cardinal directions and all the intermediate directions on one. All right, here's the last page we're going to tackle today. Scales and symbols. Maps never show sizes and distances as they really are. They are always much smaller than that part of the earth that they represent. A short distance on a map represents a much greater distance on earth. The scale of a map shows the relationship between map distances and real distances. A map scale can be shown in many ways. The most common is a line scale, just like we've been learning in math, a number line. Here it is right here. That tells you how much distance. So this length is 100 miles. So from here to here is 100 miles. That's like from here to Madison. Wow, that's pretty far. And so that map scale can show us where it looks like these are pretty close, they're a long ways apart. The scale on a map shows the relationship between a map's distance and real distances. A map scale can be shown in many ways. The most common is a line scale. The scale on the Hawaiian Island map shows two measured distance, one for miles and one for kilometers. Maps use symbols to show other kinds of information. A symbol is something that stands for something else. Sometimes symbols look like what they stand for. For example, a map maker often uses tiny airplane symbols to stand for airports. So here's our symbols up here. A little dot, that's a city. A star, that's the state's capital. An airplane is where the airport is, and then the red line is a highway. So here is the map of Aua, which is right here. It's part of the Hawaiian Island chains, and you can see that it has some highways on it. This is a blown up version of this little island right here. You see that Honolulu has an airport in it. You also see that Honolulu is the capital of the Hawaiian Islands, even though Hawaii is the one that we think about when we're thinking about Hawaii. The capital is on Aua. I'm not sure I'm saying that right. All right, color is another important map symbol. The color blue usually stands for water. Map makers often use different colors to show separate states or countries. Map makers use a map key to explain their symbols. A key is also called a legend. The map key tells what each symbol stands for. Look at the key on the map. What does the star stand for? And of course, we already said that the star stands for the capital. Here was our definitions for the first section. Scale. A diagram that shows the relationship between distance on a map and distances on real Earth. And then map key. An explanation of what the symbols on a map stand for. In your packet today, you had a map, and you also had this sheet. Now this sheet has all these questions on it. We are not going to take all those questions. We're going to take a few today and a few tomorrow, and we're going to skip some. So the answers are going to go on your map. So you need both those sheets. And while you have them out, put your name on both of them. Number 1 says, label the name of the state that lies the farthest east in the United States. So now we're working with this. And which way is east? Well, it'd be really sweet if we had a compass rose. Oh, we do. There it is. Most maps have it. So the east is this way. So which state is the farthest this way? Well, we're going to write it on this map, but we're going to use a map from our book. We want to find the map that has all the names of the states on it. And here they are on page 24 will help us. Okay? 24. Now, this is the same exact map, just with no names. So look, the farthest east, the farthest east, the farthest east. I'd say this one's the farthest east, and that's the state of Maine. So go ahead and put Maine up here, right on top of Maine. Now, I write so big that mine went a little bit outside of Maine. That's okay. All right? All right, that's question 1. We're done with question 1. Now, question 2 says, label the name of the state that lies the farthest south of the United States. So I'm going to go to my map, and I'm going to look for the south. South is down. So which one's the farthest down? Wow, it looks like Florida is the farthest one south. Some people think Texas is, but Texas, because we're kind of curved, is actually not as far south as Florida. So go ahead and put Florida over here. You've been watching the news. Florida just got a lot of rain and caused a lot of flooding from Hurricane Sally. All right, I'm done with number 2 here now. Number 3, label the name of the only state that lies along 60 degrees north parallel. Now we're going to learn about these parallel and longitudinal lines in a little bit here, but it's not there yet. So let's look on our map. Here's north, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, oh my goodness, 50's in Canada, 55 would be even farther, and 60 would be so much farther. Now, does anybody know what state is way far north? Yeah, that's Alaska. In fact, it's so far north that they had to cut it out and put it down here. Okay, so on this map they put it on the bottom. So let's put Alaska here. Okay, that one's number 3. Let's tackle number 4. Label and name the states that touch 155 degrees west longitude. 155 west longitude. 130, 125, 150, 100. Yikes. 155. That's got to be somewhere way out here in the Pacific Ocean. Oh, that's the Hawaiian Islands. And so they put it right here on this map. So this is Hawaii. Okay? Hawaii. We're taking all the outliers right now. We want to get one more today, and we'll call it a day. It says, draw an X on 40 degree north latitude and 90 degrees west longitude. Label the name of the state you are in. So first of all, let's go on 40 degree north. 25, 30, 35, 40 degree north and 90 west now. Look along the bottom. 80, 85, 90 degrees west. So we're going to try to combine 40 and 85. I wish it was Wisconsin, but it looks a little bit farther south than Wisconsin. You are actually in the state of Illinois. The Chicago Bears are from Illinois. All right. I did my best to get it to fit in there. There's Illinois. So we did the first 5 today. Now on Tuesday, you notice my sheet says Monday and Tuesday. On Tuesday, we're going to take the back side of this one. So today, you keep this in your Monday folder. It's the last, or almost last pages 8 and 9 in there. Tomorrow, we'll pull that out. I think it's 7 and 8. We'll pull that out, and we'll finish on Tuesday, but we'll put it back in the Monday folder. All right, guys, keep everything nice and organized.